It's the longest undefended border in the world, a symbol of peace, friendship, and shared values. Two nations so similar that most people can't even tell us apart. But beneath this friendly surface, beneath all the sorries and the have a nice days, lies Canada's dirty little secret. It's a quiet but powerful resentment of its southern neighbor. A feeling so deep in our culture that it shapes almost every big political decision. It's maybe the most powerful political tool in the entire country. This isn't about a hockey game. This is about a foundational, almost subconscious dislike that defines what it means to be Canadian. And the most shocking part? It's all by design. To understand this, you can't start with today. You have to go all the way back to the beginning. The United States was born in a revolution, a violent rejection of the old world. But Canada? Canada was born from the people who ran away from that fire. After the U.S. won its independence, tens of thousands of people who were still loyal to Britain fled north. They weren't revolutionaries, they were refugees. They chose order over chaos. And their new home, which became Canada, was founded on one simple idea. We are not them. Our entire identity was built on being the opposite of America. This us versus them idea got locked in place just a few decades later, during the War of 1812. In America, most people have forgotten this war. But in Canada, it's our origin story. The way it's taught in school is simple. The small, scrappy Canadian militias stood up to a massive American invasion. We defended our land. We even burned down their White House. We proved we were different, tougher, and that we would not be swallowed by the United States. The real story is more complicated, of course, but the myth is what matters. It created the first rule in Canada's playbook. The Americans are a threat, and our survival depends on resisting them. This fear of being swallowed whole defined the 1800s. In fact, the main reason Canada even became a country in 1867 was to build a government strong enough to resist America. But then the threat changed. It was no longer an invasion of soldiers, it was an invasion of culture. Hollywood movies, American music, TV shows, they all flooded across the border. Our economy became filled with American-owned companies. A new fear started to grow. Not that America would conquer us with guns, but that it would just buy us. That we'd wake up one day and be the 51st state, without a single shot ever being fired. And this is where the anti-American feeling became official government policy. Canada started a huge project to protect its own culture. The government created the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, to tell Canadian stories. It created rules called Canadian Content Rules. These rules forced radio stations and TV channels to play a certain amount of Canadian music and shows. Think about that for a second. The government was literally building a cultural wall to keep America out. And it kind of worked. It helped create amazing Canadian artists. But it also sent a clear message. American culture is dangerous, and we need to be protected from it. This feeling got even stronger during the Vietnam War. America was seen as an aggressor. Canada saw itself as the peaceable kingdom. We welcomed American draft dodgers, and our prime minister at the time, Pierre Trudeau, described living next to the U.S. perfectly. He said it was like sleeping with an elephant. No matter how friendly the elephant is, you feel every twitch and grunt. The elephant. The big, clumsy, and sometimes dangerous neighbor. That one image captured the entire Canadian feeling. A mix of fear and feeling totally ignored. And that brings us to today. Because all that history, all that anxiety, it never went away. It just got turned into a weapon. Canadian politicians have learned that when things get tough, there is one card they can always play. And that's the stand up to the Americans card. It's the oldest trick in the book. Liberal Prime Minister Jean Chrétien became a hero when he refused to join the 2003 invasion of Iraq. It was sold as Canada taking a moral stand against American recklessness. Even our most pro-American Prime Minister, the conservative Stephen Harper, had to play the game. Whenever he was in political trouble, he'd start talking tough about defending Canada's Arctic. From who? Mostly from the United States. But the true master of this strategy has been the current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. And his perfect opponent was Donald Trump. For 4 years, Canadian politics was framed as a constant battle against a hostile America. The new NAFTA deal wasn't just a trade agreement. It was a David versus Goliath fight for our nation's survival. Every tweet from Trump was a national insult, and every calm reply from Trudeau was seen as a heroic defense of Canadian values. It was political theater, and it worked perfectly. It let the government rally everyone around the flag and distract from problems at home. Why worry about the cost of housing when we can all unite against the big bully next door? So here's the real secret. The hatred isn't actually hatred, not really. Individual Canadians? We like Americans just fine. We watch your movies, we visit your cities, we have family and friends across the border. The hate is a political tool. It's a manufactured nationalism that comes from a deep feeling of being the smaller, weaker brother. It's how Canada defines itself by pointing out America's flaws. Your healthcare system, your gun violence, your political chaos. It makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves, and it lets us ignore our own problems. But this creates a dangerous cycle. It lets our leaders off the hook, and it ignores the simple truth of our relationship. Canada's safety and our money are completely tied to the United States. Our militaries work together. Our economies are one. When the U.S. economy gets a cold, Canada gets pneumonia. That world's longest undefended border isn't just a nice saying. It's the most important fact of life for Canada. All the political fighting, all the angry headlines, it all happens under a giant, invisible umbrella of American security. So, is the hatred real? In the hearts of everyday people, no, it's a phantom. But in the halls of power, in the news, and in the subconscious of our country, oh, it's very real. It's the ghost that has haunted Canada from its very first day. The ghost of the nation it decided not to be. So next time you see a Canadian leader puffing out their chest about America, ask yourself, are they really defending Canada? Or are they just playing the oldest and easiest card in the deck? If you found this interesting, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We dig into the hidden politics that shape our world every single week. And I really want to know what you think. Leave a comment below. Are you Canadian or American? What's your take on all this? I try to read as many as I can. Thanks for watching.